Along with our Hearts Against Heroin campaign, we are chatting with Cambria County Coroner Jeff Lees. Thanks for being here, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And Jeff Lees, we obviously know that he sees every day as death. And along with the overdose deaths, which have kind of taken a little better turn here, Jeff, from your study from last 2018?
Yes, the drug overdose numbers have come down to 61. We had 61 individuals pass away in Cambria County from drug overdose fatalities in 2018. That's down from 87 in 2017 and down from 94, which was our spike back in 2016. So it's a significant decrease in reduction of overdose fatalities. Not where we want to be. There's still a lot of work to do. It's no time to take a sigh of relief. Still have an epidemic on our hand, and we still need to continue with education, prevention, and treatment.
There are a lot of people, and we've talked about it before on the air, a lot of people are against Narcan, and people will say, that's what they deserve. You see death every day, and you say, you need to use this Narcan. People need to use it.
Absolutely. There are many mixed emotions about the use of Narcan. What I can tell you from a personal standpoint is every life is worth saving. And even though some lives are saved over and over and over again, giving individuals an opportunity and a chance, sometimes 2 or 3 chances, to turn their lives around, get the treatment that they need. And if we can keep a family from having to bury a loved one, that's what it's all about. I commend our first responders in the field. They're doing one hell of a job providing fast, efficient, pre-hospital care to these individuals at the time of need. And again, they are saving many lives.
Let's talk about the fact of having a coalition bringing everybody together. How has that helped Jeff Lees as coroner, having a coalition in place?
Well, I'm a big advocate of prevention and education. My office goes out to the school districts, and we talk to teenagers about the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse. Starting this drug coalition, it brings a lot of key components from different agencies to the table to address the needs of our community. And you can see by these numbers that we are making progress. And we need to keep pushing forward with prevention and education and try and reduce these numbers even further as we go along. And I believe we will do that.
Our guest is Cambria County Coroner Jeff Lees. What actually happens scientifically from your end when somebody overdoses? Their heart stop? What happens?
A lot of our overdoses, main component is respiratory failure from a medical scientific standpoint. Basically, your respiratory system shuts down and your lungs fill up with fluid and causes you to go into respiratory failure, which leads into cardiac arrest and death.
Now, in comparison from something like heroin to alcohol poisoning, maybe using another drug, how does heroin differ? Or do they all kind of shut down the body the same way?
What we're seeing with heroin is putting people in acute respiratory failure. And one of the main components that we're seeing from a toxicology standpoint is fentanyl. Fentanyl continues to be a major factor in our drug overdoses.
So that immediately pretty much takes over the respiratory system then?
Absolutely. And we're also starting to see a spike across the Commonwealth with crack cocaine.
And now how do you die from crack?
Basically the same way. You go into respiratory failure, and it's similar to an acute heroin or fentanyl overdose.
Most people probably ask you, what's the worst thing that you've ever seen as Cambria County Coroner when it comes to the drug epidemic?
Yeah, from time to time, when people find out what I do for a living, they always ask, what's the one case that sticks out in your mind? And I can honestly say I don't have one, I have many. But one case that will never leave my mind is back in 2016, we had 2 parents die from an acute drug overdose, and their 5-month-old baby also passed away at the scene. And whenever I had to carry that 5-month-old out of the residence, was probably one of the worst days of my life as a coroner, and that will never leave my mind. Knowing that that baby suffered from starvation and dehydration.
We've been chatting with Jeff Lees, Cambria County Coroner. Thanks so much for your time, Jeff.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Hearts Against Heroin with your stations from Forever Media Johnstown.
Rockin' the Laurel Highlands.
Rocky 99.1.